Okay. Yes. So as the topic for today shows, on product management in AI-driven businesses. Really, as I said earlier, this is a guide really for the non-technical members of an AI product developmental team. And yes, really, this is about you know bringing you know actionable insights into how one who doesn't write code can be able to contribute to building an AI product. And as we see here from the reference, um an overwhelming number of companies are prioritizing developing AI systems into their operations, into their processes. And so the question here is, what does a project manager actually, carry out when the product, has AI infusions? So, um, starting with, defining an AI product, usually, these kinds of products really are, data dependent in the sense that you ought to have clean, relevant data as much as possible. There's never enough data when you're building an AI product. You continuously and consistently is or are required to have that relevant data coming in from a clean source usually, because data, as we all know, can come in usually structured and unstructured forms. So um, the structuring of such data is, essential when building an AI product. And, examples of an AI product, as we see here, can be live, chat offerings. We we are all conversant, with some of the recommendations we get, with some of the brands that we have associated with directly or indirectly, such as Netflix, Amazon. These days, there's a lot of buzz on social media about Temu and their aggressive marketing and advertising strategies, whereby their products and offerings do pop. And yes, these are all what AI has been able to do in the technological space in terms of the effects. And in finance too, you detect frauds with the help of AI, because AI really is about pattern recognition, and also trying to look out for those trends and those patterns, to be able to determine, um, future outcomes. And yes, it's really about iterating whatever it is that you're doing in terms of building an AI product. You have to continuously see where you're going with your AI product, what, are the effects, that it has been observed. And now we go on to the project manager's role. When building an AI product, the project, I beg your pardon, the product manager's role is about bridging that gap between technical teams and the overall business objective. In the sense that the product manager, rather, the product manager is tasked, with producing the documentation in terms of user needs, defining the problems, and testing the solutions that have been implemented to understand, whether the user, is able to interact with that particular solution that has been implemented. And yeah, so product managers usually should be able to understand what the user needs are. Um, as I pointed out earlier, that data is required, in building an AI product. And such data, when, they are available, are required to go through analysis, in order to, be able to, visualize preferably what these insights that are derived from the data and how these insights are going to be acted upon. And, that also leads, to the need for, lucid communication, usually across cross-functional teams. And now, looking at it from everyone's perspective here, in terms of the connection with Dincom Dev Center, this data is from the pre-evaluation test responses that usually emigrates prospects, clients do interact with on the Bincom pricing page. And, when they are able to, give information about, their tech profiles, and, the information is being evaluated, and, there's a score usually with the pre-evaluation test. The score usually is calculated, using years of experience, whether you're in the business side of tech or not, whether you have a tech business, your tech proficiency levels, all those set questions during the pre-evaluation are what, these prospects usually submit and, are evaluated. And usually, as you all know, what we do here at Emigrate is we, provide the service of tech mobility, relocation, and settlement. And this will come with the interest with the visa routes. And as we can see here, um, the UK Global Talent Visa, which is also the Technician Visa, is, the most demanded route here at Bincom. That's through the pre-evaluation test results that I mentioned. And this kind of insight, is going to allow we, the Emigrate AI team, and, Bincom Dev Center in general, to be able to understand, what the strategy alignment is, in terms of what the customers prefer, how we can optimize our pricing, how we can better predict demands in terms of seasonal demands, what time of the year, to the highest scoring um, evaluations, usually register their interest for our products, the not so high scorers, also what time of the year, do they usually have that peak in terms of Emigrate products interest. So this, brings us to the question, how can predictive analytics improve product strategy in AI driven businesses. Of course, as I've just pointed out, pricing strategy, for example, you're going to understand, what particular times of the year, do certain types, of customers, usually demand for our products. And in building an AI product, there has to be a goal, why, are we building this product? And let's take, for instance, in the case of Emigrate, and Emigrate AI, why are we building the product? Of course, we want to reduce, response times for our prospects, also, increase lead conversion, due to the personalized roadmaps that the AI system is able, to provide to prospects and clients, using their profiles, tech proficiency, and, other information about this particular prospects and clients. And yes, you're going to find, those problems because users only care about, the problems you're trying to solve for them, and, the time you're going to save for them in solving this problem alongside, the costs too, because every customer wants the best solution at, the most affordable price. And so when you talk about examples, of identifying and solving user problems, as we can see here, when you have a chatbot, that is able to, resolve customer tickets in less than no time. All right, let me take an example. For example, for instance, with the banking apps we have these days, they have this live chat streams whereby you're able to just lodge your complaint and attach, for instance, if it's a failed transaction, you attach the receipt and that will be resolved. That has saved the organization, a lot of cost in terms of, let's be real and realistic here, employing, maybe two, three people on different shifts, to handle that task. So yes, these are some of the real world game-changing effects that, AI products are having in the workplace. And back to the income dev centers, business um, needs. Now, this is also the same pre-evaluation, test responses from the income pricing page. This is about, as you can see, the distribution of years of experience of, prospects for Emigrate products. Most of, the pre-evaluation test responses are from profiles who are within 4 to 6 years in terms of experience with technology. And so this, already informs the Emigrate AI team that the system, would have, to be able, to provide relevant road mapping, for this particular group of techies, in the sense that now the data, will be able to allow we at Emigrate AI to kind of forecast the market needs, what employers and even the visa endorsing bodies are going to require, what they, are going to expect, from job applicants and, visa applicants respectively. So, these are some of the kinds of I would say luxurious information that, analytics is able, to provide in terms of building an AI product. Because in Beacom Dev Center's instance, we are able now to identify, how we're going to, set pricing, for these groups. And as you can see from the charts, hold on, please. I'm trying to get the chart back. Yeah, the next group is those that are kind of starting their tech journey, within the 1 to 3 years of experience, and so they are also going to be in the consideration because now when building this AI product, the consideration that causes to fill those skill gaps because they don't have the experience as the 4 to 6 years of experience prospects. So now analytics has been able to allow the Emigrate AI team to be able to determine what kind of courses you know or skill developments will this 1 to 3 years of tech experience prospects are going to require, to be able to achieve their aim at the end of the day of, tech mobility, relocation, and settlement. And before I continue on the defining AI product requirements, please, I would want, to entertain some questions. Whoever has a question should please pose the question.
Okay, so I guess the silence means there are no questions. Please you can go ahead so I can finish up with them.
All right, thank you, Victoria. In the absence of questions, now building an AI product will require, certain laid out requirements. And as we can see from the slide here, metrics, are important. And in terms of building Emigrate AI, one of the key metrics is lead conversion, because we're building the product so that when users interact with it, they should, be on the most likely path to, turn into premium clients. And so, performance targets, lead conversion in the case of Emigrate AI, and also in building an AI product, response time is crucial too, which is a feature that is going to enhance, user adaptability. And in the particular case of Emigrate AI, I would say kudos to Victoria, because the latency of the Emigrate AI chatbot has greatly improved. Lately, when you interact with the bot, you are able to see that you get a response in way less than a minute. Which is progress on our part in terms of building this AI product known as Emigrate AI. So yeah, there will always be trade-offs between performance, user experience, and costs. And where we are now in terms of building Emigrate AI, performance really is what we don't want to trade, for now. The user experience. Um, it is something too, that it is closely aligned in terms of high priorities with performance too. And, the costs too are something that we consider, but in terms of rolling out, a world-class product, the cost wouldn't be as much of a priority as the performance and user experience. And yes, as I said earlier, the Emigrate AI product has improved in terms of response time. 90% accuracy really is something that all AI products being built should be able to, aspire towards, because, as I said earlier, response times of AI products is crucial, in terms of continuous user adoption. The referral sources, as we all know, should be a key component of, every business, not just the Emigrate and Emigrate AI product. This is because you want the value being provided by your product to speak for itself, and no better way than someone who has used your product telling another person to use your product. And social media so far has been the greatest source of acquiring new clients for Emigrates, and so friends too, they also aid the cost in terms of acquiring Emigrates clients. And no wonder Fejiro, from time to time usually, posts out the links for the referrals. It only makes sense, as we can see here, from the data of the pre-evaluation test responses and the web search too, the webinar too, and the online articles. Our YouTube videos also help. And what this kind of actionable insights really do for us as an organization is now we are able to optimize our marketing channels. We're able to understand, what kind of keywords, should we tend towards, and also the pricing strategy too. It will always come, to the fore, in terms of analyzing what user preferences are in terms of Emigrate products, because this will, help to improve the conversion rates, the retention, and pricing adjustments. With the question here, which referral sources have the highest potential for AI-driven optimization? For now, it's looking like the social media channel. Time will tell, as different facets within Beacom Dev Center continue to make their modifications as, real-time business developments occur. We have the marketing team, the tech team, the design team, all the various teams, they all contribute at the end of the day to this, revelations. Yeah, as I said earlier, we can't have enough data as long as data is clean and pertinent to the business use case in terms of building an AI product. And yeah, for example, you train, a gazillion of data points, around, customer interactions, because as we all know, so much of data is, yet to be explored. So let the data keep coming when you're building an AI product, as long as it's clean and relevant. The tech proficiency levels. for, emigrate prospects. Most of the prospects are on the intermediate level, you know, which is why if you pay close attention, you understand why the project management classes, for example, go on at the Income Dev Center, the business analysis classes, the design classes, you know, Python classes, and the various tech classes. This is to cover the gap because most of those that want to use the Emigrate service are not yet advanced in terms of their tech proficiency, and that is why the advanced techies, what we usually already have for them is the road mapping, for them to be able to show their impact, in the industry and their readiness, to apply for, whatever visa route it is that they are most interested in. And not so much in terms of the newbies and the beginners, in terms of
Hi,
wanting
sorry to
income.
interrupt. Good morning.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So it's already 9:46. Can we continue?
Okay, yeah, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I'm at the end. Yeah, so.
All right, thank you.
Yes, from the tech proficiency levels, it helps the Emigrate AI team, to be able to recommend those courses, tutorials, and materials in general that are going to aid in terms of closing that skill gap from going to intermediate to advanced level. And we have a question here. How does tech proficiency affect AI adoption and innovation in product management? This question obviously is in terms of the kinds of service that Immigrate AI is offering, particularly in terms of migration services. So yeah, you continue to test. When you build your AI product, you have your data, you continue to perform your analytics to get your actionable insights. Feedback, loops, you continue to see, what it is that users prefer, what, users are telling you that you should tweak on, and you continue to improve your AI products, on, the data you analyze and, the feedback that users are giving you, because that's what you want and need to improve your products. Everyone, thanks for being a part of this presentation. And as we can see, the focus of a product manager in building an AI product is, the what and the why. It's not really about the how. The how comes when you have your data and your data reveals those actionable insights to you, and you are able to, apply those insights and also get feedback from users and act upon those feedbacks. That's how you are able to build an AI product. And also your task as a product manager to set those metrics after identifying the problem and the continuous and steady iteration, of, the insights you gather from your data and from your user feedbacks. As I mentioned from the beginning, clean and, pertinent data will never be enough. Let it keep coming. That's what the AI system needs. And yeah, no coding.